Islam. It is March 28th, 2022, and I'm continuing. I had to pause for a moment. I'm cleansing, so and it feels pretty good. Anyway, I'm Rhonda Arrington-Bey, Islam Sheikh Dwayne Baffle Bay. Just a few moments ago, a helicopter sounded like it's flying low. I'm at Extended Stay America in Annapolis, Maryland, 120 Admiral Concord Drive, and you just heard a thump. And I was going to continue speaking about what I'm speaking about in reference to. I want you to listen because lawfully, all right, lawfully, this is definitely, I want you to listen when things happen because lawfully, law is interesting. I'm going to leave it at that. So, in reference to, so I had to start a new video because the other video was getting a little bit too long and I have to upload it. There's someone keep coming as I'm talking about sex trafficking, humanoid robots, unclean and unnatural spirits, transforming and the transformation of man and mankind into something that's unnatural and unclean through thoughts, words, and deeds. And I'm also speaking about being outside of natural law and the prophecy and what's destined to happen. Those that are outside of natural law. And the telepathic code, all of a sudden the helicopter started to fly low, obviously, or it sounded like a helicopter. I don't know. And if it was an airplane, it would be like, well, a helicopter is slower, start to fly low, and then definitely my tablet was blinking before that when a helicopter flew low. And so I'm going to continue. So anyway, it's March 28th, 2022. Once again, Imani Gray Bay and I, Rhonda Arrington-Bey. We don't know anyone personally here in Annapolis, nor have we implied we want to get to know anyone personally here. So I'm going to continue speaking about how there is definitely, I see as a spiritual woman, a agenda to put masses of beings, man and mankind, out, keep them, transform them through a telepathic code or other means outside of natural law, to which is definitely an attack on natural law, which harmonizes and governs the earth and the universe. And so the unclean, unnatural abomination spirits that are involved in doing it. So as I was giving an example of, okay, a reference to how sex trafficking can happen and be implemented. So example. So say a humanoid robot, okay. And humanoid robots aren't all just one. They could be pale skin that's been transformed in a laboratory lab somewhere, experiments, transformed. Definitely pale skin. Why wouldn't they not transform the pale skin? And then as they are trying to implement a form of first class citizen in that abomination world, because if an unclean abomination spirit that is implementing this spirit of bondage all over the planet Earth, is trying to put that which is unnatural and unclean as first class citizens to rule over beings where they will look at it as a god, because it has made the population dependent on electronic devices, using electronics to run for water, to distribute food, or having them driving trucks to distribute food, whatever, so why would they not make pale skins or transform pale skins into some form of artificial intelligence robots? Definitely African American, Black, Negro. definitely, no doubt, in that which speak Spanish. They could be also from China, Japan, or other places, Pakistan, India. So what I'm demonstrating is a global agenda to transform beings outside of their natural state, because in their natural state, as the frequency rise on planet Earth, you will attune and demonstrate more of natural laws, which is freedom. The spirit of freedom is in natural law. But if you are trying to stop that frequency so that an unclean, unnatural spirit can exist, and then therefore a program exists that will stop the destruction which has already been destined for it to happen, because they are outside of natural law. If you're trying to stop that from happening, then you're going to do it globally, Islam. So where if there was a form of peace that they are trying to implement, then peace is connected to freedom. You cannot have peace without freedom, and you can't have freedom without peace. Okay? But when you are implementing a false world that's outside of natural law, that means it's not in the spirit of truth, then you program, and even though what is easy to see, you know that masses of people are programmed globally, okay? And into a way of life of bondage, and making them into slaves, mentally, spiritually, physically, then you don't care. You literally in the open demonstrate a lie all the while. So what I see is a definite agenda to make artificial intelligence some type of first-class citizen to rule over those who are outside of natural law. And this is how it, another form of how it can be done. So say in reference to sex trafficking. So like I've given testimony of money being stolen out of our account here in Annapolis. We've been here since the last week of May. Since the last week of May of 2016, and sometimes I forget to say the last week of May, but we've been here since the last week of May of 2016, and then continuously since August. I don't remember the date right off of 2016. We have been at Extended Stay America. We have never left Extended Stay and went to go live somewhere else since we have came to and live in this room. Okay, Islam. So that's important for me to say. So, and that was in 2016 when we moved to this room in room 116 in August of 2016. So, I think it was 2020, in December. I could be wrong about the year. Money was stolen out of our account. Now I work at Burger King. Money works at Wendy's. And I caught it within approximately 30 minutes of seeing the transactions done. It was over $100. Now, okay, at the time, what I remember is minimum wage, what we were making, and money might be making more, but still, nonetheless, compared to many, we're making little money. Our rent was approximately $870 every 2 weeks. Okay. Approximately. It has fluctuated and been about that since we've been here. So $870 every 2 weeks at Extended Stay America, Islam. So is that, yeah, make sure I say that right. Every 2 weeks. Yep. Yep. So that's a quite a bit a lump of money, right? So over $100 was stolen out of our account. So what that did was place us in a dis-ease. And I remember when I was calling Bank of America to have it replaced, someone walked in front of our door saying they did it. Also reminding you, Sheikh Dwayne Bafabé, my Moorish American Nation, I wrote Extended Stay telling them about how someone in 2018, okay, was saying military in Edgewater. And I'm just giving testimony. I didn't know at the time, definitely, that there was another store connected to Burger King that I work at, that the owners own, Carl and Janelle, in Edgewater. And I'm not saying connecting the dots to saying that's who was saying, but I do find it odd that I've given testimony. I told the general manager about someone saying Burger King, and in 2018 someone was saying Edgewater. So it's like, why are they saying Edgewater? Where is Edgewater? Because we're not from Maryland. So I think a little bit after that, definitely I found out that there was another store called Edgewater. Okay, another store in a city called Edgewater. They shut it down. So they said because of the budget, of some other reason. I'm not sure why they shut it down. I've overheard, this is conversation. I have no definitely proof why they shut that store down. So I'm not going to even say why. So that the owners had two stores, so they shut one down. So in 2018, I wrote a letter, gave it to a Senate state, and then people were saying lay down, and because I never experienced anything like this before, and once again, Imani and I don't know anyone personally here still to this day. It's March the 28th, 2022. So they were saying lay down outside around the room, and so we would see all of a sudden as we were walking back and forth to work, someone tucked a Senate state blanket. Because Extended Stay had a different spread than this one that they have now. And the one they had like brown strips at the bottom, a brown strip or a yellow strip at the bottom. And it was more like, it was different texture. Someone tucked the sheet and a spread right in front or a little bit up towards our walking. This is on the right hand side, and had it on the side of the road. And remember, they were saying the word lay down. And I was like, why would, so this is how you can implement psychological abuse and connection. And so that spread stayed there for about 3 days. And I asked Imani, I said, Imani, did you notice that spread that's extended stay, that extended stay spread on the side of the road there, right up here? He said, yeah, I see it. I said, so anyway, when I went to give the letter, Imani also gave testimony. And so why would someone be saying lay down? Lay down, because once again, I never experienced anything. But when you're dealing with an unclean, unnatural, filthy spirit, then they are thinking on a sexual beast level. Islam. And so they are trying to implement a form of engagement and fear. Okay? So if you're afraid of being raped mentally and spiritually, or even physically, and you on your own, okay? You feel like you're by yourself. If a black Negro male approach you, you might be more liable to engage, or female, to engage with a community, okay? Islam, especially if you're not aware or familiar of what you are around or what you are among. So, or it could be those that speak Spanish. Like I kept saying, hearing people, it's still to this day here, those that speak Spanish saying the word werewolf in an odd manner. Like, so I'm giving testimony of that because it connects to a telepathic code that I believe that has been distributed globally, not to all, but to many, with different forms of DNA and spirits connected to it. And so they definitely insert in my belief, into a fetus of children. And so you have a generation of species of beings being raised that are able to demonstrate extraordinary, what you would think, abilities, but they are still but have a violent beast and animal tendency. Islam, a violent beast, and animal tendency, and they are outside of natural law. So, or hearing them saying Birdman, or hearing the black Negro saying brother. So once again, if you are trying to force a person to engage, amalgamate, connect, marry, breed, then you, another form is to enforce some form of psychological abuse, which can that induce fear. Islam. So once again, if a humanoid robot can take money out of your account, you working check by check, or you have a mortgage to pay, and this humanoid robot or other unclean spirits want to have sex with they can put money in your account, Islam. And so the humanoid robot or other unclean, unnatural spirits want to have sex with your kid. So this is an example. So your kid, when you were pregnant, it was injected with the telepathic code. Islam was injected with the telepathic code, and you feel wonderful or great that your child was able to have a higher or more advanced way of thinking. Okay? And you feel that you have something in common with artificial intelligence on TV, or robot on TV, because of the extraordinary, because you too have the telepathic code abilities that you are able to do. And not only that, you have allowed a transformation to happen. Okay? A humanoid robot or an unclean spirit wants to have sex with your kid, spiritually, mentally, and then physically. Maybe through different form with the satellite of the TV, ritually being on so they can witness it. All right? You refuse. Then all of a sudden you realize your kid is having problems at school that your kid wasn't normally having problems. All of a sudden when you look at your bank account and someone has taken money out your bank, and you have rent to pay, you have you have mortgage to pay. So things get very hard for you, or I say a challenge for you, and once again, not only that which is unclean, unnatural in spirit, whether it's a humanoid, artificial, intelligent robot, or it could be just a unclean, unnatural being that exists. Some will call it the brother. It could be a Hispanic saying werewolf, the Birdman. It could be a pale skin. It could be somebody from the Middle East. Just an unclean, unnatural spirit that is connected in that abomination world that promote bondage, fear, sex trafficking. That's outside of natural law. Wants your child and wants to keep, and they're trying to implement how it's a privilege for your child to be broken sexually with one of them first, penetrated by them first, and implementing sex. So that is a thought I'm experiencing. Because I'm connecting some spiritual and mental thoughts and also on a physical plane what I experience Islam. So what you feel like you might have to do, and then you have others that are around you say, I did it, and look, we're okay. I did it, we're okay. Just let it happen one time. It's okay. Just do it, and then your child gonna be okay. Your kid gonna be okay. And you do it. That's sex trafficking. That's prostitution. And all the while, there's some form of payment or transaction being done. Now, I want to remind you, here in Annapolis, I've given testimony about, because I have practiced celibacy for over 9 years. Imani has never had sex, okay? And this is physically, and he said he has never, that he remember, ever had sex in his dream, okay? That he remembers. So one time I thought he was being attacked in that manner, but he said he's not sure. He doesn't remember, okay? But see, but when you're dealing with unclean, unnatural spirits, and they're trying to force and amalgamate or implement a normality of rape, molestation, they'll program as though they had a right to do so. So in Annapolis, I would hear citizens on the physical plane speak about someone being tight in an odd manner. She tight, or that's tight. Now, once again, I haven't had physical sex in over 9 years. And Sheikh Dwayne Bey, as your wife, you are the only one I have willingly had sex with in the sacred mental growth. Okay? So and then also constantly hearing someone saying, brother loves you, he loves her, she loves your son. Okay, so let me continue. And how the implementation of sex trafficking of unclean, by unclean, filthy, unnatural spirits are being done. I'm not accusing extended stay. I'm just giving testimony, Islam. So what I do, since I have this here, a lot of times I bring my stuff with me to Burger King. Now, I've been doing this for a while, since last year of June of 2021, when I started to plan to send Burger King Corporation a letter stating some of the, I felt, unconstitutional things that were going on. And I was like, why is this happening? It should stop. Especially hearing them saying Mo, and so forth. Hold on one moment, okay? Okay, so let me continue. So Burger King put lockers in the kitchen during the pandemic. And I started bringing what I found that is impertinent to me, that I didn't want to be tampered with me, and locking it up in the lockers. That includes, these are some of the things. And I do this almost every day, except for when Imani is off work and he's here. because that is these are a thought of caution I've experienced in reference why I should do that. And I have a lock, and there's been some times when I come to Burger King where there's like 12 lockers, and what I remember, 12 lockers, and there'll be only like 7 or 8 employees, and all the lockers are full. Some will just have like a bottle of water in it or a mask in it and so forth. And it's like, okay, so I would take time to have to ask people why, is there someone that's using more than one locker? I just had to do this past week because I cannot, what I have, which I find is important, and I don't want to be tampered with, and I definitely don't want to leave it here. And I'm not accusing Extended Stay America, but if there's enough situations that are happening, Islam, that doesn't make sense, then you use what I would call common sense. All right. And common sense in thought is saying protect what you find valuable. Islam. Now, Extended Stay told me that they don't allow anyone in this room. Since I've been here, I have told them I only want itself, and I started adding U-Sheet to Wayne Baffle Bay a little bit later. Definitely, I think it was 2020 or a little bit before 2020. I added you maybe 2019, but I know I added you on the you could come in at any time, the room, but only Imani, Gray Bay, I, and you are on the list to come and enter this room. No one else is supposed to enter the room, and they said, okay, your stuff is protected, so forth. So, in a lawful world where you have companies abiding by constitutional laws and regulations, then, and you know that they are doing it, this is something that's been implemented, then yes. But being among an unlawful world, there's always can be doubt. Islam. And when I'm not once again accusing Extended Stay, but because of what I've experienced, and I have had to give I've reported and said, and then also when I'm out, I said, let me go ahead and take this with me, just for what my thoughts are telling me to do, or what my spirit is saying to do. And so a few times when I take my stuff to Burger King, a few times, it's like, these, not enough employees to cover these lockers, and all these lockers are full. So I have to wait a few minutes, and then someone come and move their stuff or so forth. And there has been an issue where one employee got upset. She and it was odd how she got upset in reference to the locker, because it anyway, I don't even want to bring it up because I don't remember exactly how it went. But this just happened this past week. I went in there, came to work, and the lockers were full, but not, and I'm counting employees. I'm like, where is everyone? That's connected to these lockers. And I said, is there anyone I using more than one locker? And at the bottom, as I went around, came back, I think someone, I can't remember, said that you can use this one down there. That's no one's locker in there. I'm like, okay. So I put my stuff in there and I locked it. Okay. Now, how can now this is getting back to another thought that I'm experiencing. So if a humanoid robot, or that which feels they have some authority, it could be an unnaturalized Navy, military, Army, okay, want to implement a form of subjugation and sex trafficking, Islam. And so if a company has chosen to abide by these rules, Islam, and they fit in, so to implement sex trafficking or a form of bondage, they make it hard or a challenge for an employee to work. So say that they're implementing bondage behind closed doors or even in the open, where they trying to do a form of money exchange. Islam, because see, as a free woman and a free man in Arrington-Bey, a free natural being, they cannot buy me, but they can implement acts of terrorism. They can perform acts of terrorism. They can perform abusive behavior. They can perform unconstitutional acts, acts of terrorism mentally, spiritually, and physically. Islam, because I am a free celestial being, natural being, Moorish American, and so is Arrington-Bey. But I am in natural law. But outside of natural law, through thoughts, words, and deeds, they can implement bondage. Islam. And so to implement and encourage bondage, sex trafficking, or the invasion of that spirit of freedom, which is an attack on everything that is in natural law, which governs the earth and the universe, they start demonstrating a form of abusive behavior because they are implementing some form of money transaction or bondage. And I'm not accusing Burger King, but this is the thought that I'm experiencing. So there is a company, a high-profile company, and you are a woman or a man, mankind who just was hired. So there's man and mankind, and you are happy to be hired, but you're not making that much money, but you have a family to support, and you're thankful that you're earning money. One of the males want to have sex with you. You are a man or a mankind. Say you're a male, and one of the males at the company, or someone that is controlling the company, or through artificial intelligence through the satellite, wants to have sex with you. In order for you to keep your job and provide for your family, you bend over and allow them to penetrate your anus. First, having sex with you mentally and spiritually in your dreams. You enjoy it. Allow yourself to enjoy it. And then you'll go further and have sex on a physical plane, but you're able to earn money and provide for your wife and your family. Islam. So then there's some form of money transaction. Say you have never had sex through your anus before. So they consider and all the while, and since I'm experienced this thought, they saying the number 33. Islam, you the same. Okay, you should. So it's just like that kid, or that has an implant of the telepathic code as a fetus, should not feel like they're any different from that wants to have sex with it for the first time, because they're the same, right? Why not? They call it the 333. They're the same. Why you are implementing? You are part of a set. So you bend over and allow a male to penetrate your anus for the first time, and everybody's doing it. Okay? And so you don't feel for the first time, because everyone has done it, or so many that you've been around done it, and they are okay, and they move on with their life. But then it goes further and further and further. So other things start to happen where your freedom is being violated. Different situations are happening globally that causes you to lose your job. So you lost your job because economically something has happened to cause the company to break down. To close down. So you have bent over, allowed penetration of your anus, or you not accusing, not removing that you did not feel subjugated to do so, but you have allowed it to happen or accepted to happen. And while someone's saying 3, and then the company gets shut down because of something economically is going on globally that causes masses of business to be shut down, food shortages, and so forth. So let me continue. So what I'm demonstrating, the implementation of bondage and the disconnection while transforming man and mankind outside of a natural state, keeping them disconnected to what they can connect to is a divine spirit of the higher self, which is connected to natural laws and the high frequency of love, true peace, freedom, and justice. So, on another hand, that same company you hired, you are a woman, and there's someone that wants to engage and have sex with you. You choose not to. Okay, you're not connected to the 333 Mason, whatever. Okay, but then they start making it hard for you to earn money, or making it challenges. It's nothing that you think that you can do right. Adding psychological stress to your life as you earning money there. It's things that should not even be created. It's created in a psychological manner to cause some form of chaos or stressful manner environment while you earning money. All the while, the reason is because of a forced amalgamation of an unclean, unnatural spirit wants to have with you. Then your hours are cut. Now you have to pay rent. You have to pay a mortgage. You have a car note to pay. You have an electricity bill to pay. And so your finances are cut. And then it seemed as though there is a created false reason of why your finances are being cut. This is how the implementation of sex trafficking is done, or bondage. And then so what a person can do to keep from not being put out on the street or having to go to a shelter is accept the engagement of an unclean, unnatural spirit. So if the unclean, unnatural spirit wants to first have sex with you willingly, where you just open to laying down, using the word lay down, and having sex with them in your dreams, mentally, and then you accept and you just allow them to be all in you, and then physically you have sex with them, then all of a sudden everything is okay. You flowing, you got your hours back, that is how the implementation of bondage and sex trafficking is done. And this can be done on a global level. Islam. So now I'm definitely once again excluding not excluding the disease and viruses that are passed. Just because someone is inflicted with a disease, I'll use that I'm using a thought now. Just because someone is inflicted with a disease and a virus doesn't make them unclean. Okay, they are inflicted. They could be trying to heal. But an unclean, unnatural spirit that has a virus, disease, parasites, and deliberately spreading this is unclean, unnatural, disease, and full of viruses. Islam, deliberately being used as a weapon of mass destruction to spread and cause masses to be sick and ill, so that another implementation can be done of whether they have to spend money to get healed or think they could be healed. When you feel like you are inflicted with a disease or a virus, Okay? And you cannot be healed from. That is psychological abuse. That's a transformation in thoughts, words, and deeds. So have you ever, I know for me, I worked in a hospital. So I've seen the attitudes of how someone feels. I've myself felt sick, experienced illnesses. So I know how I feel when I feel sick or when I'm experiencing an illness, and in my thoughts, words, how I handle a situation, and when I'm not. So if a virus or disease is attacking your cells and you change your personality or your character, that is a form of spirit possession, right? Because your spirit changed, or your attitude, how you will handle things may normally, that would be more normally in a balanced mental manner, change. So if you have masses or a large amount of unclean, unnatural, diseased spirits having sex, spreading diseases and viruses, causing masses to be sick, which affects, and when they realize they are inflicted or infected, it changes their thoughts, especially if they come across some that are not, and they realize everybody is not inflicted with this disease. Not everyone had to lay down was forced to lay down with these unclean spirits. How does it make that being feel, that the man or mankind feel, and how they handle a situation, the acceptance of what's going on? And then the program of this is normal, this is how your way of life should be. Islam? This is a normalization. This is freedom. This is your life. This is done everywhere. It's not just it's not just here. It's done everywhere. Everyone is doing this. And then you come across others that are not, and you hear about others that are not. You hear about others that are implementing organic, natural laws, who are not inflicted with diseases and viruses, who promote health, who have separated themselves completely through organic constitutional laws that and natural laws that govern the earth and the universe, are not demonstrating such behavior. How does that being feel that has been transformed and had to lay down, accept what they experienced, and also maybe themselves have inflicted pain and abuse on others because they think that's the way of life? They're on a low frequency. And so this is when I'm demonstrating how an unclean abomination spirit globally is attacking the frequency of planet Earth and the universe. Because if you have this energy circulating of bondage, abuse, of false reality, harm, and so forth all around the earth, in different nations all around the earth, that is attack on natural law. It's attack on that which is in natural law, the highest self, and that high frequency of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And so the TV being a satellite, can definitely implement such acts of bondage all around the earth. Many times, I notice when I wake up from a forced dream, like I've had visuals forcefully being, like when I try to focus, I'm focusing on raising my frequency. All of a sudden, I might hear in the middle of the night, definitely, someone walking up and down the hall and like slamming the door or opening and closing the door here to extended stay. Visually seeing replays of what I've experienced at Burger King. So, and then, like I said, I told Jen recently, someone is still turning on and off the water. I have woken up from a forced dream and the water is turned on and off. I told her that because, they had to, at room 118, which is next door, they shut it down and, not shut it down, but they, someone just closed the door. So I'm probably, they actually had to work on that room. There was water coming from that bathroom to our bathroom. We didn't know where it was coming from. We thought it was coming from us. We thought it was something going on in our bathroom. And Shayla, the manager at the time, said someone was coming, a plumber would work on that room. And I told Shayla, I said, Shayla, someone for a while has been turning on and off the water. I couldn't tell where it was coming from. It's like room 118. And then I told Jen, when I told Jen, the general manager, about hearing someone say military and Burger King here, odd and constantly, about it again. And they still doing it. So many nights when I'm sleeping and I'm trying to rest my mind, keep my mind balanced, I'm sleeping. So I experience forced dreams, or maybe I wake up from experiencing a forced dream of engagement, or seeing a visual of what I've experienced at Burger King, or just other visuals, constantly, like a replay of visuals to try to block. This is being done forcefully by unclean, unnatural spirits. And I'm not accusing Burger King once again, but I am demonstrating or what I've experienced many times, of trying to block what I'm trying in reference to mental and spiritual balance, and trying to maintain mental and spiritual balance, rather focusing on the astronomy that I just read, crystals, organic food. I'm in the process with Arrington-Bey transforming or transitioning to predominantly raw fruits and vegetables. It's taking time, but we're gonna do it. So it's at 47 minutes. Let me stop there because this can be a long video as well. It is a long video.